Does your kid drive you crazy because they refuse to put on a coat in the morning? Like, it is freezing outside. You have no idea how they're okay in this weather, and yet it's a constant fight. Maybe you've tried to set a rule for it and it doesn't get any better. You've tried taking away screen time, you've tried taking away privileges, nothing works. In this video, we are going to dig into the reasons behind why your child may be refusing to put on that jacket, as well as how to fix it so it's less of a power struggle. And stay tuned, because at the end of the video, I am going to give you the 2 questions to ask your kid, which are going to help you get down into why they are refusing to put on the jacket. If you haven't already, make sure to subscribe to the No Guilt Mom channel. We have videos for you every week to help you become a better parent by prioritizing yourself. And part of the way we prioritize ourselves is by giving ourselves time to learn these skills, which help us become better communicators, and therefore we just have better relationships with the people around us. So you ready to dig into this? Okay, here we go. Your kid and the jacket. First of all, it's not you against your child. Don't think of it as that way. It's really you trying to get to the bottom of things. You're being a detective. You're getting to the why behind why your child won't put on the jacket. So before we even start, we need to figure out what is holding us back right now. Why do we have this tension? Why do we feel like we need to set these rules that our kids fight back against when it comes to what they wear? So first of all, it may be some fear. Like, you don't want your kid to get sick. You don't want them to go out in the freezing cold and then be stuck inside for a week with the flu. That could be behind why you're fighting so hard with this jacket. Just know with viruses that the best precaution against them is actually just having your kid wash their hands. Now, we have this old wives' tale about kids getting sick or people getting sick when they go out in the cold or when they don't cover their head. Actually, that's not true. What happens is that viruses tend to spread more easily in cold weather, which is why we see this rise in sickness during the cold months. But it really has nothing to do with being cold. Now, being cold has some other drawbacks, of course. I mean, frostbite, that goes to like really, really frigid conditions where it feels painful actually to be outside. So I am guessing that it is not that case, or if it is that case where it's like -20 and your child is still refusing to put on a jacket, there might be something else behind it, which we are going to get into in just a couple minutes. So first we think about the fear of our kid getting sick. Also, something to consider, are you afraid of people judging you? Are you afraid of people looking at your child without a jacket? Say it's like 30 degrees outside, and them thinking, my gosh, that mom doesn't have it together. Her child isn't wearing a jacket. How neglectful. Like, I say these things and they may seem silly to some, but to some, they've actually been confronted by people who ask why kids aren't wearing a jacket. So this is a very, very real fear. So just know that that plays into us wanting to set those rules for our kids and getting into those power struggles. But the rules don't help. Here's why. The reason your kid is not wearing a jacket right now is not because they don't respect you or they don't listen to you. Let's say that again. The reason they're not putting on a jacket has nothing to do with lack of listening or lack of respect. What it does have are really 2 things. First of all, kids want autonomy. They want to feel control over their bodies. They want to feel control over what they wear. So if they're being forced into wearing something like a jacket that they don't want, they're going to fight back just for their autonomy. That is why it is best to be able to give kids control wherever we can. All people want their lives to work out. Kids don't want to be in painful cold weather, but many people will fight for that control over their own body and that autonomy. So that could be one thing that's going on. The second thing that could be going on are sensory issues. Many people don't like the feel of scratchiness against their skin. Or maybe it's a sound issue, like the jacket is crinkling as they walk and they don't like that either. Sensory issues are a very real thing. I've dealt with them myself. In fact, we've had to go to a jacket store with my son, and he had to try on like 20 different jackets before he found the one that he wanted. So keep that in mind if your child is refusing to wear the jacket. It could be a sensory issue. But remember, I'm going to give you those 2 questions to ask to figure out and get to the bottom of it. So now we're in the moment. You're at the front door with your kid, and they're fighting you. They don't want to wear the jacket. They would rather go out in the freezing cold. It's snowing outside. They'd rather go out there than put that jacket on their body. What do you do then? I don't expect you, if you're running late, to immediately drop everything and go into questioning your child. It won't work also because their emotions are probably already heightened and you won't get the answers that you need. Instead, give them back that autonomy. Say, okay, you have the choice for what you put on your body. I'm just going to take this jacket with us, and if you choose to wear it later, cool. And that's it. Let them go outside in the freezing cold. Let them walk to that car. Then, if your kids choose to put on the jacket later, cover your mouth. Don't say I told you so. Trust me, I really want to say it all the time too. Here's what to say instead. Be like, oh, good choice. Great. I'm glad we brought the jacket with us. Make it such not a big deal. It's such not a big deal because it is their choice for what they want to wear on their body. And remember, kids want their lives to work out. Okay, but let's say out of the moment, this is an issue every single day for you. Now it is time to drill down. Now it is time to figure out the reason why so that you can problem solve with your kids, so that you get a permanent solution to this issue. Now, we help you go through this in our Balance VIP program. So I put a link for you right down there on how you can try it free for 2 weeks. But let's get to those 2 questions I promised you. So you have to make it at a time where like you're out of the situation. You're not getting like rushed out the door for school. Maybe it's at bedtime. Maybe it's just a ride in the car. Everybody's calm. You're calm. Your kids are calm. We're all good. Here's where to dig into it. The first thing you're going to say is, hey, I noticed that you have challenges with putting a jacket on before you leave the house. What's up? And you kind of open it up for discussion. And after that question, they might be like, nothing, it's fine. Here's where you go in with those 2 additional questions. The first question is you're going to say, well, why does it happen in this situation and not that situation? An example of it is, hey, I noticed that you put on the jacket when we were going to grandma's house, but then when you were getting ready to leave for school this morning, you didn't want to put on the jacket. What's up? And have them explain that difference to you. So that's question number 1. Question number 2. What are you thinking when I ask you to put on a jacket? And tone really matters here. You don't want to be like, what are you thinking when I ask you to put on a jacket? Like, you don't want to imply that it's something negative. Just be really curious. You're a detective. What are you thinking when I ask you to put on a jacket? Those are the 2 questions. Ask your kid those questions and see what comes up. And then come back to this video and comment on it. I want to know. I want to hear. So if your child is having trouble putting on a jacket in the morning, remember, arbitrary rules, not the way to go. Instead, we want to have a conversation so that we can problem solve with our child, and always making sure that we're giving our kids autonomy, because then they'll have less of a reason to push back. These conversations we have with our kids, it's a lot of teaching. So if you're having trouble getting your kids out the door in the morning, and maybe jackets are a part of that, I have a freebie for you. It is a video for you to watch with your kids, and it's going to help them plan exactly what they need to have to get ready for school in the morning. Picture it, mapping it out so that you are going to have an easier time leaving the house. If you want to get that, I put the link for you right below this video. And until next time, remember, the best mom's a happy mom. Take care of you. I'll talk to you later.